Blue, I think maybe might be the best. I don't know yet. We gotta go through everything, but I think blue might be the best color in this set. So let's get it going. Sorry.
Let me read Shore Up. Magic Damper. Blue, instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap it. This is, if I am understanding correctly, a functional reprint of Shore Up. It's the exact same. The last time I remember having Shore Up was Bloomborough.
Mhm.
I kind of think that Shore Up being good is less a product of the format and more just a product of, just how Magic sets are designed, that the cards have a little bit higher impact overall. There's like less sort of junky vanilla creatures. So I think you can actually a lot more easily take advantage of tempo swings. So I actually think Shore Up is just a pretty good card. I put these at C- these days.
Okay, I don't. There is like an instant sorceries theme here, right? I think sharp is
Yep.
usually good. Like, sure, if you have something really good to protect, yeah. But also, like, if you have like important pieces of maybe your puzzle or something. Um, but it's also if you have like some kind of instant sorcery non-creature synergies, which definitely exist in this set. But I'm not sure if any, if enough of them exist. So I'm just gonna give it like a fine trick if you need it D+. Because I think it's gonna be so easy to go wide and stuff that this is gonna be less important. So let's give it a D plus for now. Just fine trick.
I guess if the set is if the set really is about going wide, which you were suggesting maybe all the colors can go wide,
And it's
then
gonna be
something
much
like
worse.
Shore Up is what was Shore Up in Bloomborough for you?
I mean, it was like a D plus, I think, but you really
Okay.
had some important things to protect there as well.
Shore Up was probably the best it was in a while in Bloomborough.
Yeah, but nothing that
I think it was a C-
special.
there.
D minus, okay. Next up, we got Syncopate for X and blue. It's a counter spell, instant counter target spell, and unless it's controlled pays X, and you are going to exile the thing you're countering if you get it countered. It's fine. We've had a really nice change to Syncopate in the last set, where if you had a creature with 4 power and any amount of them, you pay 1 less, which is huge for this card, right? Because it's fine, Syncopate is fine, right? Later on, you're always countering something, so that's kind of okay. Early on, it's kind of bad because, well, you gotta pay 3 for opponent to pay 2, so if they're playing like low drops, it's gonna be really bad. But most counter spells are like that. So I'm not huge on Syncopate. It's always fine. It's never bad. It's never really bad, and there are non-creature matters decks in this set, and so it's gonna be fine just to play more non-creatures than usual. I think it's just a D plus or C minus. I'm gonna start as a D plus. It's fine, nothing special, but it always does counter something later on. So if you have a proactive deck, it gets much better, right? You got a proactive deck, and you kind of are winning the board. And then if you can keep up, which I think blue is gonna be good at, like winning the board state. That's where counter spells become much better, I think, right? If not if you're a control deck, if you're this kind of counter spells that are not over the top, like 2 mana counter something and place opponent pays 4 from TDM is different. But if you have a deck that's very good at getting that board presence faster than most opponents, then the counter spells get much better, because if you keep it up, opponent plays nothing, you're still winning the game. The problems with counter spell is if you're in a slower deck and you keep it up, opponent does nothing, they maybe have something in instant speed, or they're playing like 1 drops, 2 drops, and then you're still behind even if they play nothing. So that's pretty bad. I'm just gonna go with a D plus. It might go to a C minus or even a C, because blue feels good at winning that board. What do you think?
It's expensive. Yeah, that's the main issue. Syncopate's been around for quite some time, and I think as the years go on, it gets worse. As threats and the efficiency gets a little better. Yeah, this is D plus.
Okay.
It's fine.
This one is cool.
We're in Dreams of Laguna.
Yeah.
Okay, Dreams of Laguna. 1 blue for 2 mana instant, surveil 1, then draw a card, and has flashback for 3 and a blue. 4 mana flashback. Instant is, well, pretty necessary. Probably the last card. I mean, it probably makes you think of Think Twice, right? Which didn't have the Surveil 1 attached to it. The Surveil 1 is kind of a big deal. That's very, very nice. I'm really not as concerned with an expensive flashback cost because you just sort of use it when you are able to. So I'm not really concerned with the efficiency on that. I do think that this will be a nice role player in decks that actually, very importantly, the flashback cost of 4 is flashback cost of 4 is probably better than flashback cost of 3 in this set because it actually triggers some of the non-creature stuff.
Wait, but isn't the
That
CMC always 2?
pardon me?
Isn't the CMC always 2, even if you flashback it?
But it doesn't. The cards in the set don't count CMC. It counts the mana you spent to cast the spell.
Oh!
Oh, you didn't know that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Wait, how did you get this far without knowing that?
I mean, we didn't have a lot of cards like that. Ooh.
Sure.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah. That's the point. Okay, anyway, sorry. Yeah, I think this will be good. This will be a good role player. This is a C for me.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Also great with looting. Great with is like spend 4 or more. How many of those 4 or more? Let me see. Oracle. I'm looking. There is some red commons and uncommons. Okay. There's a blue common that where you can put +1/+1 counters on a 1/3. There's the uncommon blue-red, obviously, where you're putting counters and you can also ramp. It also ramps you. There's that uncommon octopus that taps and puts a stun counter. And that's about it. There's not that many things. 2 commons that seem fine. And like 2 uncommons that seem fine. That's 2.5, let's say. That's actually fine. I could see this as a C+ with looting and milling. Yeah, I'm gonna start it as a C+.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah. Ice Magic for 1 and a blue. It's a tiered instant. For adding, so you pay 2 mana to cast Blizzard. Return target creature to its owner's hand. You pay 4 mana to cast Blizzara. Target creature's owner puts it on their choice of top or bottom of their library. You can pay 8 for Blizzaga. Target creature's owner shuffles it into their library. Alright. So 2 mana bounce, not that great. 4 mana put something on top or bottom, not that great, it's just that. 8 mana shuffle, some like basically removal spell without dead effects. And it's better than putting in the graveyard for this set especially. I'm horrible. But all of this on the same card feels amazing. Like when you need to bounce something, when you need to bounce something, even if it's 2 mana, that's gonna be great, right? You're winning combat, you're killing a token, you're removing a lot of counters. When you are bouncing something, it's great effect. The thing is, sometimes there's just nothing good to bounce. You can also bounce your own sagas, because they are creatures, as they are finishing the last step, right? The final step, the final chapter goes on the stack, no sacrifice yet, you bounce your thing, the saga chapter resolves, saga gets sacrificed, whoops, there is no saga, it's in your hand, life is good. So that's gonna be like a really good effect. And then when you want 4, great. If you want 4, maybe you need 4 mana thing for your non-creature spells. When you pay 8, there is some things that care about 8. There is that. I remember only the octopus that cares about 8, and you put 8 +1/+1 counters there. The octopus is just good already. I think we're gonna get it soon, see it soon. So it's really nice that there is an 8, right? Sometimes it's very rarely gonna be the case. Mostly it's 2 or 4. But I was just talking. There's so many things. Like when one of these is gonna be really good. I think this is very, very powerful in the set. I think it's either a B minus or a C plus, and I'm gonna start it as a B minus because of sagas and because of like the flexibility where one of these is gonna be great.
Okay, yeah. I'm on C+. I think the flexibility is like 97% of it, and I think the Saga thing is like 3, but the flexibility is excellent. It's just never really dead. So C+
Really?
for me.
Saga thing is 3?
It's very slow. It's very expensive.
Okay. Okay.
Sages. What is this word? No-liths. Sages no-liths. 1 in a blue, 2 mana for an artifact equipment with job select. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 and has whenever this creature attacks, untap target attacking creature, and is a cleric in addition to its other types. Equip 3. A 2/1 with this effect is not impressive, so this on its own is kind of sort of weak. The Equip 3 is very expensive. The best part about this is that it leaves behind an artifact. I think that's just the best part about it. But overall, I think it's kind of mediocre as a card in itself. Like pseudo vigilance, giving a large creature pseudo vigilance is actually very, very powerful. That is a good effect, but it's still 3 to equip, which is expensive and won't just happen until like very much in the late game, I think. Yeah, so I think the best part about this is it leaves an artifact behind. This is a C- for me.
Yeah, not much better than the colorless one, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, C minus seems fine. Anything that makes you want to untap things, I'm not sure. Only attacking creatures. It's fine. It's fine. Why not? Fine to drop. A lot of these 2/1s is gonna make like 1/3s, 1/4s, 1/3s. Better I think. So first one we got Sahagin. For 1 and a blue, it's a 1/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and it cannot be blocked this turn. 1/3 is a horrible body. It's really bad. And usually these 1/3s are knowing that we had them and they could grow, and they were always shit because it took them billion years to grow. Like the Chupacabra, I think, in Ixalan, for it to become a 4/3 took so long. But
That was a Chupacabra.
I think it was a
Oh, whatever.
Chupacabra.
Doesn't matter.
But
I think it was a capybara.
it was a capybara. Oh yeah, it was not a Chupacabra. Yeah, Chupacabras kill things. Let me see. In blue, on common, you got that flashback, right? Thing. You got a 1/4 mana non-creature.
You got Syncopate.
Huh?
You got Syncopate.
Syncopate. You have some tiered magic, right? So that's nice. In white,
It's not that hard to trigger this.
Yeah, like in white you have removal spell, a very, very good removal spell to get rid of it. In black you have a very good removal spell. In red you have like a 4 mana that gets you mountain makes things. In red you also have like a removal spell. You have a 4 mana 4/3, but a creature that's a non-creature because it's equipment, and those are only commons. And then there's more like with tiered magic, of course. And then there's a good amount of uncommons as well, so this could actually be fine in this set. And with 1/1s being around, with 2/1s, there's so many 2/1s I think in this set. The 1/3 could be a fine stat line, and when it becomes like a 2/4 or 3/5, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna start it as the highest grade I have, I think, ever given a 1/3 that doesn't have some really powerful effect right away. And I'm gonna go with either C- or a C. I think I'm gonna start it as a C-. But it might be better than that.
I think this is kind of good. I think all this needs is 1 counter, and I think it's actually really easy to get the 1 counter.
C.
Iker, remember that oil card that was the 1/3?
Yeah,
Would
but
it have
that was
vigilance?
What, you mean what, vigilance?
Oh, no, I don't know if it had vigilance or not. The from 1,
Yeah,
the oil counter one.
the discarded cards, right?
No. Oil counters, and when it hit like 4 oil counters, it became a 3/3 unblockable. It's common.
That was horrible.
That was horrible? Huh.
Wait, it was.
I thought that card was good.
Remind me exactly what the card was. I know it was really bad.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it had good stats, but I could be wrong.
it was. Remind me exactly what it was. It was from 1. I'm gonna check it.
Was it like Icar Synthesizer or something? Sorry, let me look it up.
It was a 1/3, right?
Yeah, Icar. Yeah, it was a 1/3. Whenever you cast non-creature spell, put an oil counter. When it had 4 oil counters, got +2/+0 and couldn't be blocked. Thank you. But yeah. Anyway, I think this card is even like way better than this one. Sorry, I think this card is way better than that one. English. I think all this needs to be is triggered once. So I'm also with you on a C. Actually, I'm also pretty optimistic about this one.
Yeah, I am optimistic. You read the next one. I'm just gonna remind myself about that card.
This is also not easy to attack into.
With a lot of cards, yeah, like that white.
4
2 ones
mana
might
open,
be
yeah.
a problem because of the blue.
Scorpion Sentinel, 1 and a blue. For a 2 mana artifact creature, Robot Scorpion. It's a 1/4. As long as you control 7 or more lands, this creature gets +3/+0. This one's pretty spicy. I do think that a 1/4 is a pretty solid stat line for this kind of deck. It doesn't attack well, at least in the beginning, but in the late game, it becomes a pretty dang real threat. Like 4/4 is just a card in the late game. You know, that's like a real card, and this helps you bridge to the late game pretty easily. I think blue has a lot of pretty dang good defensive bodies. I think this one's worse than the one that we saw previously, but I think this one is a B, C-.
I think these are gonna actually play it fun. I checked it. With this card, it was a 1/3. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a oil counter on it, and it needs 4 to become a 3/3 unblockable. And that was also...
Did you check that from chat?
Oh, the chat gave it to me. I was googling. That's true. Okay, yeah, multiple people helped with. Okay, thank you, chat. Should look at it more. Should look at you more when I'm searching for cards. But yeah, that was in a super hyper aggressive set where 1/3 was really bad body unless it had very powerful ability, and it took way too long, so it was really bad. And blue was not that great there, but it took way too long. But this is like, yeah, you just need to play 1 non-creature spell that costs 4, and that's fine, right? The more you do, the better it gets. This one is also kind of fine. Like, red and green are both good at getting you lands. I thought that 1/3 was gonna be fine, but it wasn't. But it also was tied to blue being bad. But I think blue is gonna be great here. So I'm just gonna give it a C-, but I can see this one being like an actual D or something. But it does kind of feel like 1/4 is gonna be fine body. And the more I look at... We're gonna get into more. The more I look at these like white, blue things, the more I think that I maybe gave some wrong grades on the white cards.
Like you think that the aggressive white cards are worse because like blue can just play a single common and brick your whole thing?
Yeah, and there's so much. There's more. This is like the beginning. We're gonna soon come to the real problem of those 2 ones. All right, next up we got... I'm gonna change my Magitech infantry from a B- to a C+ for now. To a C+.
Are you doing that, or are you asking me to?
No, I'm doing it.
Okay,
I'm changing that. That's the 2 that searches for your friends. But maybe I'm wrong.
Combat tutorial.
Combat tutorial. Okay, you can go.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't apologize. Just do it.
Hey, get off.
It's done.
Combat tutorial, 1 in a blue for a sorcery. Target player draws 2 cards. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. A +1/+1 counter is a big deal. that's like a huge deal in terms of making a better blocker, making a better attacker, adding a little bit to the board, having a divination, and already this helps you hit your 4th land drop. So divination, not great. Divination with +1/+1 counter, that's really strong, I think. I actually think this is really, really good. Um, so I'm giving this a C+.
Yeah, this feels amazing. This does feel amazing. Why am I like a 10-year-old? But yeah, this does feel amazing. Okay, so man, blue with good card draw and some nice creatures, but we're gonna get to the biggest one next. Can I give it a B minus? It doesn't create the body, but it's not 4 mana, it's 3. So, by the way, 2 targets, right? It's not you draw 2 cards. Then, if the opponent kills your creature, it's done. So this never fizzles, because you target yourself, probably, and you target a creature if you want. I mean, you're probably gonna want it. So it never fizzles. It never fizzles. So that's big. That's really big on cards like this. Kinda wanna give it a B minus, Scott. Is that crazy?
Nope,
I'm gonna go.
that's not crazy.
I'm gonna go on a B minus. This feels like a really good card or spell for this set. And next up, we got Dragoon's Wyvern. For 3 mana, it's a 2/1 flyer that makes a 1/1 hero. And heroes kinda do matter. And this is amazing. It's okay. In the past, we've had these as 2/2s that make a 1/1. They have always been by far the best cards in the set. It was kinda not even close. This one is a 2/1, right? So that is not small. It means that in black and in red, there are uncommons that deal 1 damage to everything or -1/-1 to your board. So that could be something against these guys. I'm not sure how good those cards are going to be. They usually suck, but they might be something in this set. They might be real cards. Because it seems like most colors are going to be very good at going white. And like white, blue, I think black, red, green, maybe not as much, but even though Scotty was like white, green exists, so let's go white. But I'm not sure if green is going that white. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the other colors are better at it. So I still think this is gonna be the best common in the set, and it's really nice to go white in this set. It's nice to go white in any set. I'm gonna be on a B for this one. Not B plus because of a 2/1, but a B. And probably the best common in the set.
Okay, I'm a lot lower on this.
Yeah?
Just because I actually think the hit to toughness is a huge deal. Especially when it comes to like blocking. Because I think one of the best things about multi-bodies is being able to like block and double block effectively.
Yeah.
And this having 1 toughness kind of takes away that ability entirely. I do think, I mean, it's a really good card, but I actually think this is the best blue common we've seen, but it's still a C+ to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference.
Whoa. So I also think, so there's some hero synergies, right? A little bit of them.
Yeah.
And then there's also, I think 1/1s are gonna be very, very good. They are gonna be very good at blocking. Just a 1/1.
Yeah, the 1/1s are going to be really good at blocking, and also, on top of that, there's multi-bodies is always good for equipment. Always good.
Yeah.
Like you may just have a couple of equipment lying around, and if you draw this in the late game, then that's a lot of stats, and that's a big boon for Dragoon's Wyvern.
So 1 toughness is huge, I agree. But in this set, I feel like 1/1 is blocking a lot of things, and the 2/1 flyer is blocking basically every flyer. Like all the flyers that I've seen that I liked are 3/2s.
Yeah, or 3/2s. So it just blocks everything anyway.
Yeah, or 3/2s, and just block it. So I don't know, man. I think it's just
That's
a
fair
B.
enough.
Like if it was a 2/2, easy B plus. But I think it's a B, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a B plus. If this is not that powerful, that's gonna be super interesting. I don't know how. Scotty doesn't believe in it because you gave it a C plus. But if it's not, I don't know how. especially
I hate the card.
in a set
Yeah, I hate
like
it
this.
so bad.
You hate the
C
card.
plus.
Well, I
Hate
mean,
it.
C plus is big hate on what I think is best common and better than basically than most uncommons, if not every uncommon. So yeah, that's a big hit from my grade, right? From what I think about it. C plus is just a really, really good card. Not overstated, not undercosted, which I think this is. Yeah, I don't know what has to happen, but it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be super interesting if this card is not the best common in the game, better than basically every uncommon. Because I don't know how, and that's super interesting to me, right? I don't know how. Like, how is this not the best common, Scotty?
Because that's one toughness. But you said yourself you think that the breakpoints line up where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't matter as much.
I mean,
It
at that point,
matters.
it's just a matter of stats, right?
Yeah.
Not the 17 land stats. I mean, like literal creature stats.
Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be interesting. I if it's not the best thing ever. Yeah, gonna be very interesting. Because I'm gonna have to rethink like the way I'm thinking about that cards like that. Scotty.
Kikirin Merchant. 2 and a blue for a creature beast citizen. It's a 1/4. 1 and a tap, draw a card, then discard a card. 7 and tap, sacrifice this creature, draw 3 cards. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each town you control. It's kind of nice that this is a common for the decks that sort of do want to pick it up. Being 3 mana as a 1/4 is not super strong, but
it's weak.
Oh, and also like paying to loot on this is a little painful because that just means you're not looting while you're developing in those first couple stages. You're kind of just like looting after you've developed your board.
I mean, come on, you cannot not pay to loot. What the hell, Scotty?
You can't not pay to loot.
You can't. This would be rare if you didn't pay. Not an uncommon.
Yeah, like Merfolk Looter was a rare, huh? Anyway, we don't get looters anymore.
Free looters.
Well, I mean, we usually have 1 to pay on 2 drops, but this is also a pretty reasonable body. Yeah, I don't hate this. I don't hate this. I think this is fine. I also don't think you need to pick this up super aggressively in those decks. First of all, it's a 3-drop, and I think you will be able to get enough of those if you need them. This is a what, C- for me? This is C- for me.
Yeah, because you don't need a lot of them, right? And I mean, 7 and tap, 7, 6, 5, something, one of those probably. 6, 5, I think it's gonna be not that hard. To draw 3 at one point, instant speed. I mean, that's big. 1 mana to loot is huge. Like we don't really get 1 mana looters for 2 or 3 mana. Usually they cost 2. We didn't get we didn't get them in kind of a little bit longer time. I guess Foundations, but
we just got one in Foundations.
Yeah, but that was a different set. But yeah, sure, it's not long time. and I said it before you fucker. But that one was super garbage in basically a limited set, just because it was underpowered, and there was basically no card draw in that set, so it was fine, like 1 2 for 2. But one is, let's think about the tap lands. Why are they horribly constructed? Because, well, you really want your full mana available because you're almost always using it, or you're ready to use it, like with counterspell or removal, right? In limited, there are a lot of turns in the developing phases where you have 1 mana lying around. It's turn 4, you're playing a 3-drop, you have 4 mana. It's turn 4, you're playing a 2-drop or something. A lot of times you have this free mana lying around. Free mana, I mean just open mana, that you're just not going to use. That's how limited games go, because it's not like a perfectly constructed deck where you kind of know exactly what you're doing in every game. Pretty boring to me. But 1 mana, same like tap lands, they're not big cost. Playing a couple of them, they help you play the deck. It's same thing here. 1 mana is going to be very easy to sneak in, where it doesn't really hurt your turn at all. You would have it anyways. So I think if this was an uncommon, I would give it a higher grade, just because it's harder to get. But because it is a common, you don't need too many of these. I'm gonna go with a C- as Scotty. But this is a really good card to have like one off, I think. One thing that maybe hurts it just a little bit is because there's really good card draw in blue. So that kind of hurts it. And then there is a completely broken 3-drop in blue. 3-drops are not like 2-drops. You don't want as many unless they're Dragon's Wyvern. Dragoon's Wyvern. So C minus, if it was uncommon, probably higher grade, but you don't need too many of these. You're probably gonna get one. Anyways. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum. For 2 and a blue. As Flash, an enchantment aura. Enchant artifact or creature when this aura enters, tap enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Okay, that's pretty nice. Doesn't stop everything, but yeah, it's not 4 mana, it's 3 mana. Right? We had some that are 4. Not bad as far as blue removals go. I'm gonna be on a C+. It's nice. I think it's
Did you give it a C+?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
no,
can
no, no. Never mind, never mind. I was thinking about that. So, what?
I just missed your grade, that's all.
Is this really a reprint with Flash? And only
No, I
single
don't think
blue?
so. I think this is the cheapest we've seen it.
Yeah, cheapest, easiest to cast, and Flash.
You're on a C+, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. This is really good.
Mm.
This is the closest we've gotten to murder in blue.
Okay.
Well, the closest, right?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flash is huge. And it's also enchant target artifact, like, why not? Sometimes that matters.
Yeah, so it's better than murder.
Okay. Got it.
It's easier to cast. Why do you have such an issue? Why are you so exasperated by this?
Okay, true. Yeah, it is. Double black can be a problem. I mean, it might sometimes be better. The problem is like blue having really good bounce, right? A really, really good bounce, and
Yeah.
white having removal for enchantment. Really good removal for enchantment. And I don't know exactly what other colors have, so that is gonna hurt this a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna hurt it. The plus side is that sometimes you some decks like black green, I think, like having permanents in white maybe, like having permanents in the graveyard, and then this is not gonna go in the graveyard. But so like all of these removal spells that tap, it's the worst kind of removal. Because they can destroy this, they can bounce their creature, they can untap their creature. There are things. I don't know if they can untap it. There's a shore up. There's a shore up at common.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible.
There is a lot of things, and if blue is the best color, people are gonna have it. Okay, I'm not sure about C+ anymore.
That's probably why it's pushed in the set. Maybe there's a lot of ways to get rid of it.
Oh, maybe it's not that good. Okay, but I mean, when it does things, it's gonna be like whatever they use, whatever we just mentioned. It means they are using a removal spell, some kind of or a bounce, right? And it's still a 1-for-1. I'm on a C+. That's fine. It's still 1-for-1. It's okay. I'm on a C+. But maybe wrong.
Retrieve the Esper. Retrieve the Esper is 3 and a blue for a sorcery. Create a 3/3 blue robot warrior artifact creature token. Then, if this spell was cast from a graveyard, put 2+1/+1 counters on that token. Flashback, 5 and a blue. I kind of am okay with this. So one of the reasons that I think that understated expensive cards are so bad is that once you trade them, like, okay, so one of the reasons why I don't like understated, like utility cards that are expensive, is because when you trade them off, they stop having their effect, right? But in this case, it's kind of fine because you can just throw this in front of something, but you still get that value later, which is kind of sort of nice. This is 2 triggers for blah 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 4 mana. Triggers, etc., which is like fine. I really don't think you're going to need much of this. It's a 4-drop, and like then later on, like an expensive just beater. I think it's very replaceable. I don't think you need to pick up that much of it, but I'm gonna put this in decks and have it be fine. I think so. This is a D+ for me.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, 4 mana 3, 6 mana 5, that's pretty bad, but you can do both and you can like loot. There is good loot. I think blue has enough value. It's more of like you do really need these non-creatures. If you do, okay. But I think you have enough value in blue that you don't need this. So D plus seems
Well,
fine.
so a tiny bit of pushback is that this is also a really, really good way to get extra bodies in your deck to finish the game off while maintaining your non-creature count, right?
Yeah.
So that actually might be where it becomes very important. Kind of like this is all right. This is a little bit of an asinine comparison, but kind of like Serpentine Curve.
Wait, what?
Uh,
What card?
oh my gosh, you forgot Serpentine Curve from Strixhaven?
Serpentine Curve. Remind me.
Okay, it got it's a 0/0 fractal that got 0+1 counters for each instant sorcery. It's like a card that was an instant and sorcery that also maintained your threat count.
Yeah, but that was
That card
also
is really good.
kinda
But yeah,
huge.
this is not the same, but
That was also kinda huge in basically every deck.
yeah. But this might be important to maintain your threat count while also upping your non-creature count, which I can see being very important. So I could see it being better than a D+.
I could see that as well, but not sure, not sure. I mean, it's pretty cool with
I'll go
that
up to C-. I'm a believer.
1/3. It's kind of cool with that 1/3. That becomes
Yeah.
2/4, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
You want to steal on a D+?
Yes.
Okay.
Rook Turret for mana. It's a 3/3 flyer. It's an artifact as well. And whenever another artifact you control enters, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. This is exactly the same, like, but oh, it's also an artifact. This is the same like we had in Neo. Same thing, right? But it's an artifact,
yes.
so it triggers itself. Well, I mean,
No.
it triggers when you play multiples. You get
Sure.
triggers from each other, right? So the problem with that one, I think it was okay, but you usually had so much value that it's not important. But it's also like if you play more, like then you have less artifacts. Well, this one is fine. Feels kind of fine. There's flashback. It's free looting. There is so many artifacts in this set. I don't think you need a lot, because it is a 4-drop, it is a 3/3 for 4. But there's just like so many artifacts. The equipment, random treasures, just creatures, like that's an artifact. There's white has artifacts, like there's just artifacts. I don't think you need a lot of them, so it's gonna be a C- for me. But I'm gonna put this in my deck basically always. I think.
I think this is pretty good. Literally, as with I mean, this is literally the card that I'm referring to when I was talking about the previous card. You know, if you play this and you trade it off, you get nothing. You know, which is just sort of the problem with bad stats on 4-drops and 5-drops, etc. I don't think you're going to need a lot of this, and I kind of don't think you're going to need to prioritize it. So I'm also on a C-.
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna play one in every.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
And blue is just so freaking good at card advantage in this set and card selection. It is so good. I think those 1/3s are 1/3s, 1/4s are actually gonna be a thing. Right? It's like hold the ground, and then the 3-drop holds the ground and air perfectly with 2 bodies.
Okay, Ice Flan. 4 blue for creature elemental ooze. It's a 5/4. When this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. Island cycling 2. Yeah, okay. So
Sucks.
That's an okay effect. That's all right. It's a little expensive, and island cycling doesn't add a ton for me here.
This sucks.
And I don't think that you'll really. Are you grumbling over there?
Yeah, it sucks. These plane cyclers are horrible. This island land cycler.
This is a lot better than the Moogle, but I'm giving this a D+.
Yeah, the Moogle is the worst piece of crap I've ever seen, so it is better than that. but I wouldn't say that's a compliment. What do you give it?
D plus.
Ah, fuck this card. I'm on a D minus. I just don't want to put it in deck. Look at how much card draw. I don't even want to play 6 drops. So much card advantage. I don't want a 6 drop. Island cycling 2, we talked about it. When you cycle for 2, it is too much. You ruin your turn. We can go for uncommon. By the way, blue commons, got it.
Very good.
Very good, but what I love is those 1/3s and 1/4s. Not as like they're the best things ever, but they're not just like, oh my god, such crazy 2 drops, they destroy everything. Like you're gonna have to work a bit. So I quite like that. Not just like crazy stats right there. With all the card and everything blue has. If blue had like crazy 2 drops right away, just forget about any other color until the meta adapts. Let's do this the side quest card first. Is that okay?
Yeah. Wait. So go back to Ice Flan.
Hmm?
Like upping 1 mana drops it all the way from a B minus to a D minus for you. Is that where we're on?
No, because like this thing is not a B minus anymore. I think in
Okay. So you think that's just a byproduct of old times?
yeah, colors are just
Okay.
kind of we are having much more late game protection.
Sure.
And the sets are a bit less aggressive. It's not like there is 5 amazing aggressive decks. It's usually 1 or 2, most often 1, which is nice. It keeps every control decks in check, so you can't just draw a billion cards, play 5 colors, not caring, like it's gonna keep you in check. You gotta be careful not to lose against every deck. But there been like a period in the last couple of years, of a year or two, where aggressive decks were just great. So tapping on your 5 drop was super good because it's important to gain life, and also card draw was kind of whatever. And you did end up in scenarios where you are just top decking a lot more. I don't think if it's blue in this set, you're gonna be top decking a lot. I think similar to TDM, you're just always gonna be able to play things. It's turn 10, you have like 3 things to do that maybe draw you more cards and things like that. I don't think your hand is gonna be empty.
Okay.
With blue, so I don't think you ever need this. Even if it was a 5 mana, I would not like it.
Okay.
But I would not also, but I would not hate it as much.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just don't agree with it, but that's fine.
Okay. Side quest, card collection for 3 and a blue.
Yeah.
Enchantment. When this enchantment enters, you draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, if 8 or more cards are in your graveyard, transform this enchantment. It transforms, into a 4/4 flyer, but with crew 1. That's not that good, I think. It is a 4 mana spell, right? If you need that. It is gonna become something in blue. I think it's gonna be pretty good at crewing this for 1. Very, 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 very good. Mega Threshold is kind of hard, I think, to achieve. And draw 3, discard 2 means you're not really getting any card value. It is just card selection. For 4 mana. And not adding to the board. I don't like this. There's much better card than common. And especially because of that, I don't think there's room for this card. Would be cool if there is, but I'm just gonna give it a D. I don't think there is room for this.
Yeah, this is a D for me.
Kinda sad. We got 2 side quests and they kinda suck, both of them.
We are on Sleep Magic. Sleep Magic is 1 mana for an enchantment aura, enchant creature. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, sacrifice this aura. This is pretty spicy.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't. Yeah, it's not easy to ping your own stuff, right? We don't have pingers printed anymore. I don't even think there's a pyroclasm. Is there a pyroclasm I'm forgetting about?
Yes, there is a. I think it's fire magic. 1 mana.
That's like the most expensive mode, right?
No, it's like 1 mana, deal 1 damage to everything.
Is that not just your opponent's stuff? I thought it was like end the festivities.
What? No, that would be so cool. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, fire. Let me look up.
Oh, this would be like a broken card.
Each creature. Sorry. Okay. It is an uncommon.
It is an uncommon, yes.
But yeah. So fire magic freeze it. Is that like the only one?
I mean, yeah, that's the only one, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this is hyper efficient, and I don't think that the damage clause will happen. Like it's gonna happen maybe like once in 20 games. Um, this is quite good. This is a B- for me. Raw efficiency.
You can deal 2 damage with the
Like
for
red
1
burn
mana
spells,
as well
right?
on common. But that's crazy fine. Because like what? You did this and you traded 1 for 1 and you paid 1 mana, I mean. Paying 1 mana and trading 1 for 1 with literally anything is good for you up to much better for you. And this sleep magic, they're probably not gonna use it right away, like it's gonna take some time. And I mean, just using it on a 2-drop is fine, because, well, they're not gonna deal 2 damage to their 2-drop, and yeah, that's perfectly fine. The thing about this set is, I'm kind of thinking, and with the equipment and the sagas, like we're getting a lot of removal and a lot of good removal, and it might be that removal is worse in this set. That might be the reason. Because of the sagas.
Fights work too.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, fights work too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fights work too, but wait, but there is no fight, right? I think there's no fight. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there's fight at uncommon. Okay. Yeah, the removal now that I'm going through the set might be worse. Like multiple bodies, equipment, and sagas. All of that means removal worse. Oh, removal is amazing in TDM. Crazy amazing. Super important. One of the most important things you can have in your non-Boros decks was removal. It was good in Boros as well, but... And especially against Boros, because if you stop them, War Effort, Peg Beast, and so on don't win you the game, so... It is very good. The question is, how many targets are you actually gonna have in this set? I'm just gonna... I'm gonna give it a B- still. I'm still gonna give it a B-. Even if you put this on an equipment, it might be better than B-. On like that 1/1. Like you remove the 1/1 for 1 mana. And they gotta pay mana again to re-equip. So that's a lot of mana. Still, it's good. Like basically no matter what get rid of. So B-. Would be much higher in basically any other set, but it feels like Go White and sagas and equipment is gonna make this worse. Stolen uniform. For a blue instant. It's an instant, it's a weird one. Choose target creature you control and target equipment. Gain control of that equipment until end of turn. Attach it to the chosen creature. When you lose control of the equipment this turn, it's attached to a creature you control, unattach it. This in sideboard can be completely wildly crazy, right? You're making their creature probably into a 1/1 or something, and you're making your creature bigger, and they gotta re-equip again. So it can do a lot of things. Like I think we gotta give it a cyber grade. It's gonna be great against a lot of equipments. It's also an F outside of that.
Yeah, that's an F. Spicy.
Yeah, you can be used with your own equipment for some tricks, but nah.
Sorry, 1 second. We are on cargo ship. Cargo ship is 1 and a blue for an artifact vehicle. It's a 2/3 with flying vigilance. Tap to add colorless. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability of an artifact source. Crew 1. In the range of Oaken Siren to Sky Skiff, this is a lot more Sky Skiff in my opinion than Oaken Siren. But I still think it's kind of okay. pays for equip costs. Can ramp out stuff like the Rook, the 4 mana 3/3, etc.
Two
Using
drops.
extra mana. I think producing extra mana in this format is actually really good. It's actually really, really good. Because if we are right in our predictions that blue actually has a really good amount of card draw and card flow,
Yeah.
the thing that you're going to bottlenecked on most often is mana.
Yeah.
So I think that mana production is probably going to be better in this set than it is normally, and it's already quite good. That being said, vehicles kind of suck. Not being able to block with this without another creature on board kind of sucks, and I think this is just a C.
There's enough things, but it's not as much as there's enough. There's like white has a ton of commons for this, but it is colorless, right? There's some uncommons. I mean, there's a good amount of uncommons, I guess. They're not that. A lot of them are not that great. It's. I'm gonna start it as a C, but I can see it being a C plus in the right deck for sure. Maybe even a B minus, but C for now. I'm not sure how many you actually have, but I think it does feel really good with the 3-drop that makes an extra 1/1. Il Meg Pixie. It's 2 mana, 2/1 flyer. Whenever it attacks, rail 1. That's absolutely amazing. That's crazy good. You get a clock, attacking in the air. You're surveilling 1 for free every turn. This is easy B minus.
Yeah, B minus. Good stuff. I don't know if we've had an effect like this since Guilds of Ravnica. On an evasive one, and this card is better than that, I think.
What did we have in Guild of Ravnica?
Night Veil Sprite or something like that. The one that the 1/2 attacks every turn, surveils.
But there was like crazy good effects.
Yeah, that card is like one of the best uncommons.
Yeah, but because of crazy effects, it's a rail.
Yeah, sure. Ultros, Obnoxious Octopus. 1 and a blue for a legendary creature Octopus. It's a 2/1. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana is spent to cast it, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 8 mana is spent to cast it, put 8 +1/+1 counters on Ultros. This is not bad at all.
No.
So if you need to trade off early, that's fine. But also paying 4 mana and tapping something, putting a stun counter is something that scales. Scale is the wrong word here, but it's not that hard to trigger. It's not that hard to trigger.
Yep.
And when you're sort of 2-drop that is put there to trade off with someone trying to attack you, like eventually gets pretty good value later if it survives. I like that. I like it. 8 mana is not easy, but you can get there with the what are they called in this set? Not ascend spells, the agas.
What is Aga?
What's the mechanic called? Tiered magic. It's called tiered magic.
Tiered magic, yes.
Yeah. Like that's like probably like the best way to get there at like common.
Yeah, blue common is there.
But it's possible. It's totally possible.
Possible.
And then it becomes like, well, what? Like a 10/9? Yeah, heck yeah. I think this is good. I'm giving this a B minus.
Yeah, 90% of the time it's a 2/1 that can tap for when you use 4 mana things, and it can be problematic. I think I'm gonna go with a C plus because of the body. It's very hard to keep alive. Like if you keep it alive, usually it is going to cost you life, and then hopefully you can get back that life or attack. But I'm gonna start C plus because it is also legendary that you want to keep alive. So that is a little bit weird with 2-drops. You can never have 2 on board. But yeah, sometimes it is gonna be freaking 10/9 with the blue tiered magic, which is just a really good common. Twisty Strepe for 2 and a blue. The 2/2 with blue magic, also legendary. Whenever Twistis enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. Ooh, 3 mana is a lot! Like Snapcaster Mage, but 3 mana is quite a lot. No flash. 3 mana is a lot to pay extra when you're casting a spell. But there are good spells. There's Tiered Magic, there's like Bounce, but it costs 5. There's like 2 damage, then it's a 4-mana 2 to that damage. There's really good green Bite spell. So there is probably enough. The big problem is it's a 2-2 and it doesn't go to your hand and you cannot cast it next turn. So it is worse than a lot of this type of cards that we've seen. The one with Plot, well, you plot it and then play anything later when you have full mana in OTJ. In the last set we had the Falaji something. It was a 3-2, which is a huge difference from a 2-2. Trades with actual 3-drops then and maybe some 4-drops. And you can put the card in your hand, which is big.
But you're talking about Kishla Trawlers, right?
Kisha Trollers, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
not Falaji. Kisha Trollers, yeah. Trollers. And so I don't think this is as good, but it is still fine. I think I'm gonna give it a C.
I mean, this is Halo Forger with a really bad body, right?
What is a Halo Forager?
This is Halo Forger from March of the Machines, the 3/1 flyer in Demir, which was like really good.
Wait.
It's like the exact same card, right?
What was the body? Wait, I need to see.
3/1 flyer. So that's obviously way better.
Oh, that was broken. Oh, that's a 3/1 flyer. That is broken.
Yeah, so like...
That's broken. That is a 3/1 flyer score. That's a good 3-drop.
Yeah, that's a good 3-drop already.
This is an unplayable.
But like but we're in agreement. The effect is the same, right?
Effect is the same. Yes.
Yes. Okay. We just have to clarify that
Because
exactly they're both graveyards.
Yeah.
I'm also on a C.
Yeah. Okay.
Swallowed by Leviathan. 2 and a blue for an instant. Choose target spell. Surveil 2, then counter the chosen spell unless its controller pays 1 for each card in your graveyard. Okay, this is a little strange.
Strong.
If you counter something on 3 and you have nothing in your graveyard, you can definitely counter anything on turn 3, basically. You just don't have the selection. And later on, it becomes... Actually, you can pretty much counter anything throughout any part of the game. The quote-unquote problem is that it's a 3-mana counterspell. But the Surveil 2 tacked onto it is nice. I don't think there's going to be that many scenarios where you can't counter what you need to counter. Because either you're filling your graveyard, you got a lot of looting, some self-mill, right? Yeah, this doesn't count for itself in the graveyard. It's still on the stack resolving when your opponent has to pay.
Yep.
So I think overall, as far as 3-mana counters go, this is nice. This is a nice one. Yeah, this actually does a pretty good job. And the extra value tacked onto it is really good. I think this is a C.
I think this is one of the best counterspells I've seen for limited. I'm just gonna give it a B-.
Yeah.
At least. Minimum. I would be very surprised
for
if
a reactive counterspell.
Huh?
For a reactive 3-mana counterspell.
Yeah. Surveil 2.
G.
Surveil 2 on a counterspell is absolutely huge. I would be very surprised if this is not one of the better uncommons by the end of the set, like B-, B, something like that. I would be super surprised.
Yeah, this is one of the better 3-mana counters we've seen.
Almost always counters things, and almost always basically counters anything, and Surveil 2 is huge. Surveil 2 is big. Thieves' Knife. For 3 mana, you get a 2/2. So equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card and is a rogue in addition to its other types. Equip 4, 3 mana 2/2 is so weak and needs to go through. That's not easy. It is a non-creature, I guess, if you need it. I don't know, equip 4 is so much. I think blue has enough card draw that you don't need this. I'm just gonna give it a D+.
Yeah, I'm on a D+ as well. Like the obvious dream is to pair this with Evasion, but I don't even think that dream is that appealing.
Yeah, same. I think it's enough. It is filler. You got enough cards in blue probably. If you don't, then probably blue is closed.
Eject, 3 and a blue for an instant. This spell can't be countered. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Draw a card. I think normally this card is not incredible as an effect. Like we've literally had this for a while. But I think it's a little bit better in this set. I think it is a little bit better in this set because it's not that embarrassing to bounce a token.
Yeah,
Because
it
the
kills
tempo
them.
swing that you get from, especially from expensive equipments, like imagine you just untap on turn 4, you're on the play, and you delete your opponent's 3-drop.
And yeah, and draw a
That's
card.
like pretty good. That's like pretty stinking
Yeah.
strong. I think the fact that tokens are prominent and tokens, technically they're 1/1s, but in terms of how much tempo you get from it, is really good. So I'm actually kind of a fan of this. I'm giving this a C+.
I like it a lot. Yeah, I'm a C+ or a B-. I'm not sure. It's also 4 mana for your things. I'm actually gonna go to a B-. Can't be countered this pretty big. Like, you know that it's gonna go through. You know that war doesn't matter as well. Not sure if we have much war in this set, but yeah, I'm on a B- for this one. Ether. For 3 and a blue. It's an artifact. You can tap it, exile this artifact, add 1 blue. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the. Okay, this is really cool. Okay, this is really cool. So it kind of ramps you for that 1 turn. So it's kind of 3 mana, but probably better than 3 mana because you get a 4 mana non-creature, and then it's gonna help you double spell or ramp. That's really cool, and there are really good instant and sorceries. That's pretty cool. Usually we have 2-3 mana spells that copy, and they're almost always garbage because you gotta do everything in the same turn. I think this works in this set. Also an artifact. I think this works in this set. It does get exiled. I don't know why all these get exiled, but I do. I think it's fine for this set. I'm gonna give it a C- to start it.
Yeah, this is not to get twisted with the red copy effects we've seen in the past. This is much stronger. Like even though those look like they cost 2 mana, it's 2 mana on top of the spell that you're casting. This is much better than that.
You do have
Because
to
you can
have
actually
the
subdivide it.
spell.
I don't think this card is very good.
It's not very good, yeah. You gotta have the
I
spell
don't
as
think it's good.
well. Yeah, D+. It's
I'm also on a D+.
D+. But it's kind of cool that it gives you the 4 and ramps you a bit, and then you play another 4.
I mean, like, you can get on turn 5. Oh no, you can't on turn 5. I was like, you can get 2 5/5s with the Esper card.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, I'm not. It's. I don't think it's that good.
I mean, what do you mean you can't get it? You can, like, if you somehow looted it away,
Well, not on curve. Not on turn 5. There's no way on turn 5.
there's some way.
Oh, fine with
Surveilled
rampers
it or
maybe.
something before.
Oh yeah, you could. No, you're right. You could loot it or surveil it. Yeah, you can. You can actually. Huh.
Cool.
That's a pair of mammoths.
Not the greatest card, but it's really cool.
Realm Sketching. 2 blue for a sorcery. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact, creature, or land. Hey, look, we have clone at common.
Uncommon.
Or uncommon. Uncommon, yeah. I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
It always matches the best creature on the board, but that's not necessarily the best for you. It also, is a token vulnerable to stuff like bounce.
And copy
Et cetera, et
equipment or
cetera.
removal.
Removal? Yeah, you could copy. Wait, what? Removal? Oh, the white one. You could,
Yeah.
you could copy the white removal, the white one that exiles. I think this is a C-. I think it's okay.
I'm on a D+. I'm not a big fan of clone, especially when it costs 1 extra mana. It's pretty cool that it gives you the non-creature spell clause, but yeah. Just copy also sagas. That's kind of cool. That's really cool, actually. D+. Not a big fan of card. Alright. I don't know what the hell happened to this card. It's the Prima Vista. For 4 and a blue, it's a 5/3 flyer. That is not good. But wait, it's a vehicle that you got a crew for 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, this thing becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. I have no idea what happened here. No idea. If this was just a creature, it would not be good. It would not be good. It
Yeah,
was
I
a
don't know. This is
creature.
all downsides on a bad creature.
Yeah, it's like so much. Like, yeah, it's a like bad creature, and then let's add huge downside of it being a vehicle. I'm on an F. I don't know
Yeah, this
why.
is shocking.
Yeah, it is shocking. It is shocking. I have no idea what happened.
It's shocking because I don't think things with stats usually get Fs, but this is an actual F.
Is it actually? Really, I don't understand. It's like vehicles are overpowered in this set or something. Flowers are overpowered in this set, but they're not. They are not. So yeah, this would be like a D- if it was a creature. What happened? What happened? I guess
Yeah,
blue doesn't need more
Shiva.
great cards, right? Blue doesn't need more great cards, yeah.
I guess, yeah. Shiva, 3 blue for a Saga Elemental. It's a 4/5. Chapters 1 and 2, Heavenly Strike. Tap target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on it. And Chapter 3, draw a card for each tapped creature your opponents control. So it attacks once, right? It's actually pretty stinking good at keeping you alive when it comes in. And it gets a little bit of value on the way out.
Yeah.
So if you tap a creature, put a stun counter in it. Chapter 2, it's still tapped. And on chapter 3, yeah, okay, so it will draw those 2 cards. So the first chapter creature will still be tapped. I think this is pretty good.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty worth. Buys you a lot of time, gets you a little bit of value, provides a little bit of damage, can push your other creatures through. I think overall this is nice. This is nice. This is a B- for me.
I'm gonna go for a B- as well, yeah. I think blue profits a lot from getting time. Having time. And after, so like it can attack once as a 4/5, and it probably does. And opponents, it blocks for 2 turns, like all sagas with 3 chapters. Sorry, summons, summon sagas with 3 chapters. But opponent is kind of not attacking on that one turn, right? Unless they're killing you. So it kind of gains you more life than what it feels like. It's gonna draw that 1 extra card, but it's gonna replace itself. But it gains you more life. Are they really attacking unless they're killing you the turn after you, 2 turns after you play this? Because you're gonna draw a ton of cards, right?
Yes.
So it gets you more life than it looks like, unless you're just losing. Travel the overworld for 5 and double blue. You draw 4 cards, source 3, and it has affinity for towns. Okay. So if you have 2 towns on the battlefield, it's 5 mana, draw 4 cards. Not bad. Not bad. That's a lot of cards. But it is also do nothing for a board. In a color that has really good counter already for way less mana. I don't think you need this. I really don't think you need this, and I don't think you're gonna have a lot of towns in this set. So I don't like this. I'm just giving it a D because of great blue card draw.
I don't know when you're gonna run this because I think the common is better. The
Yes.
common 1/4. Yeah. So it's also a D for me. It's just you're not gonna have space. Like there's a common that's just straight up better than, not straight up, but it's better than this.
Both commons are better. Both common card draw spells are better.
Valkyrie Arrow Unit. 5 blue artifact creature construct. It's a 5/4 with affinity for artifacts, has flying. When this creature enters, surveil 2. I don't think it's. I think it's pretty reasonable for this to be a 5-drop. I think it's pretty reasonable for this to be a 5-drop, and as a 5-drop, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. A little bit of value on enters. Large clock.
A pretty good value.
Pretty big threat. Sometimes go ups over there. So the part that is we can't just evaluate this as a 5-drop, I think, because one of the best parts about stuff like affinity is to draw in the sort of mid-late game, and then double spell with this. So that is really, really, really good. Because especially because blue has a lot of card drawing, it makes this pretty appealing. It's pretty appealing. I'm actually giving this a B minus.
Can we compare this card to the Prima Vista?
Yes, that is something you can do. No one is stopping you. It's not against the law.
What happened? What happened?
What happened?
Oh, by the way, the
Well-
Prima Vista is legendary.
Hey, that's all upset. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a legendary creature. I guess that it can be your commander, right?
I don't think it
Oh
can,
no,
actually.
it's not a creature. It's not a creature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
Oh,
creature.
it can't even be a commander. Thank God. Thank God.
Does Farah even discount the Prima Vista? Farah? Whatever?
What is Farah?
Whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't literally not even worth the air.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be minus as well. And in the right deck, probably a B plus. Like random artifacts lying around, having artifact creatures, there's enough of them, having treasures. And Surveil too, when you play it later on, is big. I'm on a B. I'm actually just gonna give it a B. I think it's B plus in the right deck, and I think it's much worse in the wrong deck, but much worse, probably a C plus. In the wrong deck.
Yep.
And I don't think you're gonna have the wrong deck a lot of times. Because is this a fine 6?
Yeah.
This is not a bad 6 drop. Right?
Yeah, totally fine. Well, it's kind of medium as a 6 drop, but yeah.
I mean, and in white blue? Jesus.
Rares now?
In white blue?
Yeah, and I mean white blue is the colors for it, right?
Yeah, like there's like so many artifacts lying around. Like white has 2 equipment that one of them is great, the other one is fine.
Yeah.
White has the removal spell that also ramps. Has a 1-drop that's a good artifact. Blue has that 1/4, I guess, if you want it. Like all the colors actually have artifacts. Even green has an artifact, a common, that I think is amazing. It's a 3/3 reach that lives on equipment. So in the wrong deck it's gonna be fine, but in the right deck it's gonna be completely crazy. Right, we're done with blue uncommons. Man, blue uncommons got some pretty damn high grades, huh?
Yeah, some of them are extremely strong.
Wait,
blue looks good because the thing is the lowest grades that we gave, well, not the lowest grades, but on the lower ends of the commons are the maybe pivotal important 2 drops, right? Like the 1/3 and the 1/4. If those cards are like actually higher picks, then blue's commons look or like higher grades, then blue's commons look incredible, and the uncommons are super strong too.
I think also that blue, that maybe I think that the white, I think that the white uncommons are maybe gonna go a little bit down. I saw the blue one, but they are all pretty good. Huh? Who knows? Maybe white is just white blue could be crazy good archetype. Sorry, could be just crazy good. Want to start with the transform craziness?
Yeah, we'll start with Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Jill, Shiva's dominant. 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, human noble warrior. It's a 2/2. When Jill enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. 3
That's a
blue,
B.
blue, tap.
That's a B.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a B.
3 blue, tap.
Sorry,
Tap,
continue.
exile Jill, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. It's Shiva, Warden of Ice, which is a Saga Elemental. It's a 4/5 with chapters 1 and 2. Mesmerize. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. And chapter 3, tap all lands your opponent's control. Exile Shiva, then return it to the battlefield. So it taps all lands on your upkeep, right? So it just means that they can't play something that turn. But then it transforms back and has the ETB of bounce something. Yeah, this card's really, really, really super strong. This is really super strong. I think this is just an A minus.
Well, it's a B just on the front side, right? But then,
Yep.
Oh, it's non-land permanent. Even your things can be removed. Does the Tenga, like the front side is is crazy good. Does the backside really push it that much to the bomb level? It's not that powerful, right?
It's not that powerful, but it's all upside.
It is all upside and you get it back. I'm okay with this being an A-. I'm fine with that. I think it's maybe gonna play out as a B+. Because I don't think maybe the backside is not gonna be as important in blue where you're playing a lot of cards, and it's gonna be a little bit scary to flip it, because it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna win the game now, like most of these are. So like the backside, you might not do it until you're done with the game, and you might just block with this and trade it, because that's a great way to use it. So like, sure, it's just about, but it's all upside. It's all upside, so I'm fine with an A-. I can see this being
It's pretty
not
close
being.
to B+.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
It is pretty close to a B+.
It is very close to a B+, because I think frontside is gonna be the main thing, which is a B. Sometimes the backside, because this is a little bit scary to pay this 5. But then you bounce again, yeah. And the backside is not just like, it doesn't break the game right there, but it is pretty good.
I mean, like, so it's always very strong for your utility body to then have to be something that they need to kill, right? Like, think of like Huatli from LCI. Like, Huatli already got you a land, you know?
But you don't
So
have
you're
to
like
kill
really.
this. You really don't.
Uh,
You really don't.
I don't think you can let this live. I mean, it makes
Really?
2 things unblockable and then bounces something else.
I mean, so you paid 5 mana, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm underestimating how much of a cost 5 mana will be then.
This step is kind of whatever. It's more like, okay, it's gonna bounce
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like, it gets bounced again and it has nice effect.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna go to a B+. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a B+. It's an amazing front side, and that's the main thing I care about for this card. And it's nice that it has a backside, but it doesn't really break the game on any of the sides.
We're on Jador.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jador Aristocratic Capital. This is an adventure land, but it's a town. The town after tapped produces blue, but Overture is 4 blue. It's a sorcery adventure. Target opponent mills half their library, rounded down.
That is garbage.
This is an F.
Yeah, this is an F. You don't play this. It's a tap land. You don't play a tap land that is... this is an island that enters the battlefield tapped. Nope. An F. Because it's never like, when you cast this, it's gonna be half. It's always gonna be half. First thing, does the opponent profit from that? Very good possibility. But not only that they might profit with it, it's always half, right? Like, if they have, it's rounded down as well. Like, if they have 7 cards left, it might be, now I'm gonna win. No, you're gonna mill 3. You're gonna mill 3 cards for 6 mana. So not. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Louis Zuik's sacrifice. It's an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a legendary creature or pay 2. There's a 3 mana or your second legendary creature. Counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. 3 mana to target non-creature spell, activated ability or triggered ability is pretty damn horrible. And hopefully you're not sacrificing a legendary. I don't know what has to happen that it's good to sack a legendary. Maybe you have 2 more in your hand. I'm just giving this an F. Negate for 3 mana, I think, is incredibly bad.
This card sucks. F.
Really sucks. What if you trigger your... What if you counter your ability of your saga? Does the saga stay there forever?
I think it's a static that has it die. So I don't think it's an ability. I think if you counter the ability, it just stays on 2 counters. And then the next turn it just goes to 3 anyway and dies.
No, the ability triggers after it gets the 3rd counter. The counter is there. Without the ability doesn't matter. The counter gets there and then the ability goes on stack.
I don't think the ability to die goes on the stack.
No, not ability to die. But it says after 3. Like after the final chapter. Does that mean after it resolves? Because it's not resolving with this. I have no idea. I've never countered the last chapter of a saga. Because it was always horrible idea, right? But now we have saga creatures. It's an F. It's still an F. It's just I just wonder. Saga abilities doesn't go to the stack. Saga abilities literally go to the stack. Like the saga abilities go to the stack. Like that's what saga abilities do. They go on the stack. They always go on the stack. Unless they change that for this set. But they always go on the stack. That's why you can bounce your saga even when the last ability is going on the stack. And it doesn't get sacrificed because it sacrifices after the last ability resolves. But the wording, I think, doesn't say on the actual sagas, it's when it resolves, it just says after 3, after 4, sacrifice after 5. I think it will just die. But interesting thing to think about. But sagas like always
They also you're reading a lot into the reminder text of sagas, but reminder text is not rules text. They actually paraphrase reminder text a lot. So you have to go into like the actual rule book to see what the actual rule behind the reminder text is.
Alright, it's interesting, but it's still an F, so let's not do that now. Astrologian's Planisphere. For 1 and a blue, it's an artifact equipment with job select. Equipped creature is a wizard in addition to its other types, and has whenever you cast a non-creature spell and whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Wait, that's a crazy 1/1 that also is equipment that you can equip for 2. Wait, so you play this, and if you play your card draw spell for 3 mana, you get what? 1, 2, 3 counters, and it's a 4/4? Right?
Yep.
I mean, you can move it around? Like, this is crazy good. It is a 2 mana 1/1, but it actually blocks some things. Nah, this is crazy good in this set, I think. You just play another equipment, more equipment and so on, and I mean, I think this is a B-.
This is very strong.
Very strong.
The worst part about it is literally turn 2. But cheap enough to re-equip. Plenty of triggers in this set. Yeah. This is. I'm actually gonna give this one a B.
Nice. I might give that, but not yet.
Matoya, Archon Elder. 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, human warlock. It's a 1/4. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. Yeah, this is a weird one. It really depends. This is not an archetype. This is a card that I assume. So here's where I'm gonna pick this. I'm not gonna pick it first. If I see this like somewhere like down the line in the first like 4 picks or something, then I can take a move in, or I'll take it extremely highly when I already have that critical mass or whatever of scry or surveil. So there's repeatable uncommon that you attack. There's also the common that has flashback. That surveils one that ends up being like a double divination, which is kind of insane.
No scry in this set. It doesn't exist. Scry doesn't exist.
Yeah. So I think I'm taking this at like a D+, and I think it goes up super fast. This has a heck of a ceiling, I think. If you just have, it's not even about the archetype, right? Because like this is the reason why we don't give ceiling grades to cards that just work with how archetypes are supposed to work, which is why I'm not giving a ceiling grade to Astrologian's Planisphere, because that's just how you build decks in this format. It's just going to trigger naturally. It's just all decks do the same, like do that thing. All blue decks at least. But this one is not typical. You have to have a pretty specific setup. So I'm giving this a D+.
But we can give it a ceiling for this one or no?
Yeah, ceiling of like a B-.
Sure. B- is how I take it, and B- ceiling seems. Or even a B. Like all the three blue uncommons that's a rail are incredible. All of them are incredible cards that we gave like super high grades. B minus B.
Yep.
So, and the common is just good. We gave it a C plus.
Hey, you know why this card is good?
Yeah.
You know why this card is good?
Why?
It's the 1 mana tap 2 to surveil. There you go.
1 mana tap 2 to surveil. Oh, do you mean the
Yeah, you
white?
don't even remember that card.
The garbage?
The legendary common, yeah.
The legendary common, go away. The Lunar Whale for 3 and a blue. It's a 3/5 flyer. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. As long as Lunar Whale attacked this turn, you may play the top card of your library. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty big. In a set that in blue that can just get some 1/1s. The best common in the game, I think. That's pretty good. Blue feels also very good at defending itself, and it's a non-creature. Oh, the 5 mana vehicle is a non-creature. That's why it's complete garbage. You know, the uncommon one. Good thing that the 4 mana non-creature spells are great in this format, but the vehicle gotta be garbage. I think this is great. I'm gonna give it a B minus.
B minus?
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is an A minus.
Wait, you can
Actually,
play any. Is this if you attack? Can you play any amount of top cards?
Yes.
Oh,
Future Sight.
Oh, it's any amount.
This is the belligerent, except better.
What is a belligerent?
It's the 2 blue red for a vehicle, but I think that had crew 3, and when it attacked, you made a treasure, and it had the same effect.
Oh, but you made a treasure.
Yes, the treasure was a huge part, but it was crew 3.
Oh.
And it didn't have evasion. This card's insane.
Okay, you can play any amount. All right, I'm on a B plus then.
I'm on an A minus.
Because it has to attack. B plus. Great card.
Yep. Really good at blocking too. Okay. Memories returning. 2 blue for a sorcery. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. Then choose an opponent. They put one on the bottom of your library. Then you put one into your hand. Then they put one onto the bottom of your library. Put the other into your hand. This is a translation here. This is 4 mana. Reveal the top 5. You get the best card, the worst card, and the middle card. That's what it's gonna be like, unless your opponent makes a mistake, which they could, because they're hidden information.
They don't know information.
They could absolutely.
Yeah. You got the best card, then the third best or the second best, and then the 5th best or the 4th best or the 3rd best. Depending how much they messed up.
Thanks for the translation.
Depending on how much they messed up. And it has flashback.
Hey, when you cast this, you could get any of them. Oh. But you do at least get the best card. This is, and okay, so the flashback is like 9 mana, sure. It's a lot of cards. It's a lot of grind. That being said, like, how much grind do you need in this format? I think that is a big question. In some formats, this is like incredible. In this format, I think a little bit less good. So I think overall, it's like on par with the common, right? For me. So I think this is like a C plus.
I gave common B minus. I'm gonna give this a B minus as well.
You gave the common a B minus?
I think.
Okay. I think you gave it a C plus. I'm not sure. What was that card called? Something. What card? What was that card
tutorial.
called?
I gave it's B minus. I gave it to B minus. Combat tutorial.
Oh, I meant the surveil one.
Oh, I think it's better than surveil one.
Okay.
The water crystal for 2 and a blue. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many cards plus 1 instead. For 6 mana and a tap, each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. An F. This is an F. No Fight Club here.
What are you talking about? An F? Are you kidding? There's no way this is an F.
Scotty.
I mean, like, they can't even attack you after you activate it for 6 mana.
Go away, come on.
This is an F.
Go away.
Okay. Edgar, King of Figaro. 4 blue for a legendary. Is this a real card?
No.
It
Yeah,
is.
it
Okay.
is. It actually is. It is. Oh, it is. I was also yeah. When you asked it, I was like, no way. It is a real card.
The text seemed weird to me.
The text seemed like a
4
starter.
blue for a legendary creature, human artificer noble. It's a 4/5. When Edgar enters, draw a card for each artifact you control. Two-headed coin. The first time you flip one or more coins each turn, those coins come up heads, and you win those flips.
You don't care about winning.
Yeah,
flips.
this is that's not text. So this is a 4/5 that draws a card for each artifact you control. This is pretty easily like draw 2 or 3.
I think
on
it's
ETB.
easily 3. I think it's very easily 3.
Yeah, this is pretty easily 3. This card is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
So it is a little expensive, and it may not be necessarily an effect that you need to go over the top, right? Like maybe at this point you want your high-end spells to close games, and this doesn't exactly close games because it's
I
a
want
4/5.
this. I want this for 6.
Yeah. I think this is a B-.
I'm on a B or a B
Okay.
plus. I started as a B, but this is crazy powerful
Strong.
for this set. Summon Leviathan for 6 mana. It's a 6/6 saga creature. First chapter. Return each creature that isn't a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent to its owner's hand. Second and third chapter, until end of turn, whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Merfolk, Octopus, or Serpent attacks, just needs to attack, draw a card. Okay. So how many are there? Type Kraken. There's nothing. Octopus for sure there's at least one. Leviathan I'm pretty sure there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Merfolk. There should be a Merfolk. Yeah, there is a 2 mana Merfolk. The one that grows. So that's pretty cool. Serpent I don't think there's any. But the common Merfolk. That seems kind of good, I think, in this set. And uncommon Octopus. That is also kind of good. 4/2. Get. Wait, you bounce all the tokens as well. Those die. It gets 1 attack by itself, yes. You'd get rid of tokens. Is that good for you? I think I'm gonna be on a B+. I'm not sure if it's better for you or for the opponent, the bouncing part, but you do get a 6/6 creature, so I'm okay with a B+.
I mean, it really depends on the board state. So typically, if your boards are even, it's better for the opponent. Because they redevelop first, obviously. But like this is a 6/6, so
There is a 1/3.
I don't think this is going to play out quite as well as we're hoping.
No, there's that
but I still
1/3
think it's
that
a good card.
grows. 2-drop. It's a common.
Yeah, so that's fine. And that's good. It's obviously better if you have multiples of those in your deck. I think it's a B. I think it's a good card.
Amazing. That one is not in the set. There is no blue mythics that transform, right?
I don't think so, yeah. We're in Gojo? Go, Master of Mimicry. 2 and a blue for a legendary creature, wizard. It's XX tap. Sorry, it's a 2/4. It's XX tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control X times. You may choose new targets for the copies. This ability can't be copied. And X can't be 0. Yeah, pretty weird card. 3 mana 2/4, not so strong. Not the end of the world, but not great. Copy saga effects. You can copy saga effects. You can copy attack triggers. What else are we talking? ETBs.
But
if you have the mana.
Saga triggers the most, huh?
Yeah, saga triggers the most because you have all your open mana for that. which is kind of sort of nice. Honestly, it's just 4 mana to copy a Saga trigger twice, which is like, yeah, that's definitely by far the best one, I think, just because you have all your open mana.
Cool, it's Shiva. Like you can tap creatures.
So it's not bad. I think this is totally fine. I think normally speaking, like I mean, like a 3 mana 2/4 is like a D minus. I think this is a C.
Remember everything that all the abilities. How much do I like them? I mean, some Saga like with Shiva you can like tap a huge amount of things on board, and then you can pay 2 mana to draw like crazy amount of cards. I'm gonna be on a C plus, but it definitely has a ceiling of a B or a B minus for sure. You want to give it a B minus ceiling, Scotty?
Well, actually, it's really not that expensive to just do 2 mana whenever you need it.
Yeah. Sometimes you.
And then 6 mana also exists.
But you gotta tap it.
Turns
so...
out 8 mana exists too. Hey, you could even pay 10 mana.
Yeah.
You can even pay 12 mana. Whoa.
Like
I think I'm gonna C plus as well.
Yeah, it's sometimes you're just gonna play a 3 mana. You have like 7 mana late game. You play that. You play like you have 6 mana. You play a 2 mana artifact and you pay 4 mana to get 2 1/1s. Like maybe you need that, but blue has a lot of card draw, so it's gonna be a little bit harder to use this. That's why I'm not. If blue didn't have that much great card draw, that means like anything. It's so good to have a mana sink, but a lot of great card draw means mana sinks are less important. So that's why I'm gonna give it a C+, but I'm definitely picking this very highly because it's so interesting.
It's pretty spicy.
Hmm.
Y'shtola Rule. 4 blue for legendary creature cat druid. It's a 3/5. At the beginning of your end step, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Then, if it's the first end step of the turn, there's additional end step after this. So you flicker 2 things on your end step.
Or one thing twice.
Or one thing twice. So it's a horrible body. Gosh, you have to have a lot of fantastic ETBs. I don't think that's enough in this set. I don't think this is going to be worth the 6 mana 3/5.
Hey, Scotty, so what about this? You have a common 2/1 flyer that makes you make 2 1/1s on the end of the turn.
So that's like a good card.
And then next turn you make 2 1/1s.
Yeah, and that's quite strong.
And next turn you make 2 1/1s.
Yeah, C minus.
I mean, that's 2 1/1s every turn just with a common. And then sagas?
Yes.
Like, you tap 2 of their creatures, put 2 stun counters on it. That's different, right? For 6 even though
resetting sagas is quite good. Yeah.
And reset
it still requires you to have that board already.
Saga that deals 4 damage, Saga that gets you land, Saga that makes a 2/2. You get 2 2/2s with a green Saga that's a common. I think it's a common. I don't know, Scotty.
Just untap for vigilance.
That's a lot of things. I think it's worth it. If I'm making 2 1/1s a turn, opponent fucking has to kill. They must kill. That's with a common. I don't know, Scotty.
And what else is good?
Like any sagas, basically any sagas.
Sure, basically any saga except some of the white ones.
Any creature that makes a 0/1. I think there's one in red, common red creature that makes a 0/1 wizard. Now you get 2 wizards from that. That's 3 in total if you have just one of those creatures, and every spell is going to deal 3 damage now, or more next turn. I think there is more than enough, Scotty. It's crazy how much this costs, but I think there's more than enough. I'm on a C+. And the ceiling, I kind of want to give it a B, Scotty.
That's fine. I also think it has a ceiling.
Okay, B seems good. This is the set. This is the set for this card, I think. Then what is that? Then there's like draw cards, like the white one. So you draw 2 cards at the end of every turn. If you draw 2 cards at the end of turn, Scotty, it's or make 2 1-1s, make 2 2-2s, and they kill this, you're kind of doing fine.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
And if they don't kill it, oy, oy, oy. I think this is big. I think this is big. All right.
Yeah, it's not that hard to get something. I think this is like B plus if it's hits artifacts, but obviously that's a completely different card.
I'm gonna pick this so many times until I figure out. I mean, okay, it's a mythic, but I'm gonna pick it a lot of times before I figure out how good it actually is. Why am I getting? They're all flip cards. Whoa, what? Onto the black commons, Scotty?